All right, here we are again. Boy, I feel like life is busier now for some reason, but I hope you're all doing well, everybody. Here we are talking with our friend Kevin Churchill. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thanks. How are
I
you?
pre- I'm doing fantastic, surviving well, and you've come. Well, you're here because you come up with something very unique that's really exploded, or I guess gone viral, we could say, on
Yep.
Facebook. You're the creator of the Quarantine Sessions Connecting Through Music.
Yes. Yeah. It's just started out as something fun to do and something to, I think, take occupy some time while people were isolating. And I'll tell the story. I just
Yeah.
posted a video of myself, playing a song on guitar on Facebook on Saturday, March 21st. Just to share with my friends, and I don't have a ton of friends on Facebook. It's mostly family and actual friends, and
Yeah, right.
my brother James, brother-in-law James Miller, he saw that, and he posted one of his own, and my friend Barry White out in BC posted one of his, and by the end of the day, James said, maybe we have something here, and why don't you start a Facebook group? And I thought, well, that's an interesting idea. And then, by Sunday afternoon, I had just created the group and made it, wide open public, so it could be shared, and with my friends and their friends and that kind of thing. And we called it the Quarantine Sessions, Connecting Through Music. And it was really about giving, musicians. I have a lot of friends who are musicians. Some are professional and some are not. But the common thread is we all love music and we love to play and share it. And so that's really how the idea was born. We just kind of threw it out there to see who was interested, and it really started to take off.
Yeah, it's done really well, and certainly around this area of Sarnia Lambton. But
Mhm.
you got some more bragging rights beyond that. You've got people from all parts of the world joining, right?
All over the place, Dave. We have people from a lot of people from the UK, Scotland, England, Ireland. Um, there are people from Portugal, certainly lots of different areas of the US, and definitely people from all over Canada. Like I mentioned, our friends Barry and Dale moved out to Victoria a few
Right.
months ago, and they're growing a group of friends out there, and so it's funny how Facebook works and those networks work. You just start to see it fan out, and yeah, I think we had about 2,000 members of the group, I think, within a couple of days, and then
Yeah.
it's just grown. It's grown steadily since then, and as of today, um, last time I looked, we had 12,300 members.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, for yeah, I'm looking right now. Actually, 12,091 members on
okay,
the Quarantine Sessions.
yeah.
That's got to make you feel pretty good that this has had a positive impact on so many people.
Yeah, I mean, James and I are just kind of blown away by it, and I think it's just something that's a matter of being in the right place at the right time with the right idea, right? And if you could bottle it, that would be great, but or repeat it, but I doubt it. But we're just delighted that so many people have joined in. We've had it looks like about 2,700 people posts. Now, not all of those posts are people playing or sharing their music, but most of them are. And so we can't even keep up with it anymore to watch the songs that are posted every day. It's just it's more than we can even monitor, but we've definitely sort of said to the group, like, this belongs to all of you now. It's sort of, and people have been great. We've had, a lot of people post, once a day or even twice a day. Certainly a really good core of Sarnia and area musicians and Lambton County musicians that have, really embraced this. And our James and I, our biggest hope is that, we can help those people find an audience. And one of the, one of the challenges for anybody who's trying to make a living through music, I mean, that's tough on any day. But so many people, our friends, have just, they lost their audience, and they lost their gigs, and they've lost their way of making a livelihood through this pandemic. And nobody saw that coming. So we certainly hope that people that are watching the videos, and certainly especially the videos of the people who do this for a living, we'll see their videos, and follow them, and hopefully, buy their music if they have music available for sale, and go see them live when the time is right for people to start doing that again.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a way to keep it fresh in everybody's mind that these musicians exist in our neighborhood and all over, really. Like you, I've got some friends kind of all over the planet that are that are musicians as well that I know, and they're doing similar things, but I haven't seen anything quite like this that's caught on. And I actually was talking to a friend of mine in Australia, and she said, "Have you heard of these quarantine sessions?" And I was like, "Yeah, right." So the power of the internet. What about yourself now? You're a musician, obviously, and where do you play, and what type of instruments do you do? Tell us a little bit more about your talents.
Well, I mean, this is very much a hobby for me, but I play guitar and I sing, and I've been in some local bands that mostly play for fun, and so the playing solo acoustic is not, as I mentioned to you the other day, is not really my thing. I enjoy playing with a band, but as you can imagine, we're not getting together for band rehearsals these days. If I can do a plug, I'm in a band right
Absolutely.
now. We're called 402 West, and we're just getting started. Certainly hoping to be out there, playing in the summer if, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Yeah, right. I know for a lot of musicians, we've got some friends out here saying hello, like Julie. We were talking about you, Julie, before we went live. Don't worry, it was all good. Yep. And you've got PJ Michelli out there. He's congratulating you on this. Yeah. And Jim Sevalier, he's checking in there as well.
Nice. All of those people are just have been very early supporters of this site, and great contributors. So thanks to all of them.
Yeah. You talk about like music has a powerful impact on people. I mean, we all should know that it's a universal language. But there's another social aspect to it all, isn't there? Like kind of what we're even seeing here right now is the social and the networking and that. Is that something that you really enjoy with it as well?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I call the site Connecting Through Music, because it's hard on a good day to make real connections with people and among people, but I have always believed that music is one of those things that cuts through class and race and political persuasion. And it's something that we can all sort of, identify with, and everybody has, different tastes, and that's what makes it wonderful. But certainly the diversity of genres and styles and approaches to playing live music that we've seen on the quarantine sessions has been just incredible.
Oh yeah, the it's an eclectic world out there in the quarantine sessions for sure. And
Yeah.
one thing I noticed about it as this has grown, and this is a good thing, there's even a little touch of friendly competition out there. Like as far as there's a couple that go, well, I gotta he put one other one out, I gotta put
Yeah.
another one out, and
Yeah.
oh, I gotta come up with that too. It's really
Yeah.
there's an atmosphere going on in the group.
Absolutely. Yeah, and certainly, yeah, I think musicians by nature can be competitive, but we haven't seen any negative aspect of that.
Yeah.
Only positive comments and positive feedback for people, and really that was one of the rules from day one. We wanted to make it really a safe space for a musician of any level to post something and get some encouragement. And we've seen people from now a nine-year-old girl that's a friend of ours singing a cappella, and
Oh yeah.
we've seen entire families get into it, and and all of them have received positive feedback and encouragement from this huge audience that they wouldn't have been able to reach before. So I think that's really cool for the people who are just getting started with music, and
Yeah.
certainly I my hope is that it's positive for the musicians who are established, and again those people who are you know doing their best to make a living at this. I really hope that it can help them grow their audience in some way.
It's interesting too, as I scan it, I find myself regularly, 2, 3 times a day going into the
Yeah,
quarantine sessions, and I'll just click on
yeah,
even a random and
yeah,
listen to it.
yeah,
And the people I've talked to, it's kind of like they're still going about their day as best they can through all of this,
yeah,
but it's a
yeah,
go-to place. They're telling themselves, okay, I have to sit down and
yeah,
go to the
yeah,
quarantine sessions
yeah,
and listen to some music.
yeah,
I've even seen some people who I have known for years,
yeah,
no idea they played anything. And
yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden they're showing up on the quarantine sessions. It's pulling them out of the water, the woodwork.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we haven't done a count of this, but you think you sort of know, the people in the Sarnia community because it's not that big. You think
Yeah.
kind of who plays music out there, but I mean, it's been just incredible. And so there's certainly we've heard from, people that are well known, like, the Jim Chevaliers and Adam Miner posted the other day, and that was
Oh,
really
great.
cool. And so there's certainly we're hearing from those folks, but we're hearing from just so many. What I said the other day is like moms and dads, right, who are just making the best of
Yeah.
self isolation, and maybe they have a guitar, somewhere tucked in the closet that they've kind of blown the dust off, and they're having some fun with it. So that's awesome. We've got pictures of moms who've got babies crawling all over them, and they're trying to sort of stay focused and play a song. But I mean that's part of the appeal too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When
Yeah,
when we push through all of this and finally are allowed back outside on I don't know what kind of normal that's going to look like, but at some point when
right.
we get back outside, do
Yeah.
you see this continuing on with the same name, or would you start something new, or what would you think's going to happen there?
I don't know. It's a good question, Dave. I mean, at this point, I would be inclined just to leave it because it's a community that was built around this event,
Yeah.
and if it will if it's going to continue, I think it's really going to be up to the people who
Yeah.
are members and participating now. And if activity drops off because we're back out living our lives again, then I think that's okay too. Um,
Right.
but yeah, if there's no reason for us to kind of take it down. I don't think. I think
No,
it'll have a life, and yeah,
I
that
agree.
remains to be seen.
Well, and this type of thing that we're involved in now, the pandemic situation, like this is world
Mhm.
history. Like we're going to talk about this in history class, right? And
Absolutely. Yep.
we're a part of it. And I think it's kind of like coming out of a war. You're never going to forget that time 20 years later, 30 years later, whatever later.
That's right.
And the quarantine sessions, I personally myself, I think
Yeah.
is going to exist for years and years to come. And I think it's just fantastic that you were able to create it and have the impact that it's put on people.
Well, that would be awesome. I mean, like I say, it started out as just a fun idea that James and I had, and we just thought we'll kind of throw it out there and see what happens. And again, we've just been overwhelmed and blown away and overjoyed by the response. So
fantastic.
Never could have dreamed it in a million years.
Well, it certainly had a wonderful impact, not just in our community, but on the world. And you say one person can change the world. You and James have done that. So congratulations, and a story to tell for years to come. I'm going to let you go and get back to things there at home. But is there anything you want to put out there to everybody before I let you go?
No, I just, stay home, stay safe, and, share your music. If the quarantine sessions has been helpful for people to enable them to do that and have something really to take their minds off the sort of 24/7 news cycle of COVID-19, then, we're grateful for that. And we're grateful to each and every person that's made a post or a contribution to the site. And we just love what's happening here.
Awesome. We're grateful for you too, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Churchill, one of the co-founders, I guess we'll say, to the Quarantine Sessions, connecting through music on Facebook. Go check it out. If you're not a musician, go check it out. If you are a musician, record your video, post it. Until next time, everybody, I'm David Burrows, Kevin Churchill. Thanks so much. Bye for now.
Thank you, Dave.